everyone, my name is Josh and welcome to WHIMS. And today I have chapter 2 of my story in parts called Angel Dust. And Angel Dust follows the story of a man by the name of Simon Parker Smith who has cerebral palsy. And in the last chapter he's just woken up having had a dream where he has been burned alive. And in this chapter we get an immediate answer to how that could have potentially been. And in this chapter we meet a character called Zagreus, and Zagreus in Greek mythology is known as the god of rebirth, and he, in my version of the story, spends a month down on Earth to gather followers, all in aid of this new process where he's able to transform humans into godlike beings, or sort of like deities, which he is calling Islenites, which are guardians of sort of the scene between heaven and the earth, effectively. And it's a special job, and he's overseeing the ceremony. So he spent a month down on Earth and he's essentially gathering all these followers and he's seeing what the results are, and the results is what I've written right now. So I hope you will enjoy this chapter, and if you'd like to see more, please give a thumbs up and please be sure to subscribe for more. I don't just do videos on readings, I also do film reviews, book reviews, and television show reviews and overviews and things like that, and I do separate episodes of various TV shows as well. If I really like the show and I want to revisit it from time to time, I'll always do a review of an episode just to give you my overview of a certain character or a certain theme or things like that. I do all sorts of things, so if you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. I hope you're all doing very, very well and having a good day, and all the best, and enjoy. Zagreus of the old world stood before the place where earth and heaven first met, and withdrew from his shoulders a great sword, making a line in the sand from which it caught fire in the light of the sun as he crossed over. This was his last act as a mortal man. "Come with me, children of clay," he called, his congregation plenty in number, "for once you cross this threshold, you hold the cradle of guardians, what I will name the Islenite, peacekeepers, masters of death, and those holding maintenance of the divine seam between mortal existence and the divine. You who will follow me?" The declaration was met with whispers, voices held in a quiver of curiosity. Zagreus knew the price he needed to pay for the sake of giving secrets of the heavens to mortal beings. It was written in the stars, on the hands and feet of every man, woman, and child since his world had become material. Children of clay, be hushed. Your questions will soon be answered. The daylight is almost spent. Who will go first? The voice of those curious faded like the foam on a white sanded shore as the first man treaded cautiously toward the robed being who claimed to be seated on a cloud. The first name was Theseus. His clothes were washed with the damp as he walked towards the light, so his heart was noble, his stance was that of one overcome with emotion. Theseus, though not the first of his name, he was the one who readied a single footstep towards a better life. You see, Theseus was a fisherman, born of an even song for harvest to noble folk. His mother was a seamstress to the king and queen, while his father was a prophet who lost his head to a talented yet spineless swordsman. His mother died penniless and broken-hearted, leaving him to chance the open air and high tides of the sea. It was here where he made his living, with his net and sails, until the day when a storm landed him on the headways of warships. The winds and the siren whispering stones beckoned many sailors to their doom. The fisherman thought himself lucky at the time to have braved the storm and faced the dawn head-on. He was even given a net full of worthwhile specimens to sustain himself with. Yet his greed grew when his wit and senses vanished. He was forced to brave the rest of life's incessant ebbs and volleys with his weakened bones and empty vessels for blood to flow in. He died soon after, wishing to see another sunrise, and the faces of those he met grew fond of and lost all too early. He now walks towards that sun with the wish to see his family again. Praise be to the sun, Zagreus. I am in want of warmth, company, and food. I seeketh these from thee. Zagreus gave the humble mortal the slightest of nods, and the fisherman greeted him with delight as he was to hold the glistening embers of Zagreus's robes. It was then that the fisherman, first of his trade and many of his name, Theseus, climbed the clouds as if he had become a bird and took flight. It was from the crowd below who gasped. Some followed these cries of muted conversation, others applauded, whilst others simply wept and prayed. Zagreus called another to take the seat next to him. This was a woman who had spent her days seeing others walk to and from the stone steps of many sacred places and royal halls, but bided never to enter, nor to touch any of its treasures, for if she did, she would lose her eyes for staring and her hands for desperation. She was not born with an educated mind, but the common sense to survive on the pennies she had in her pocket as a beggar. All of my questions? These are countless, in the hundreds at most, for someone as broken and hungry with coin as she. She wanted to know what the taste of wine was like, how time came to be read in the future of the stars, and why was it such a sought after practice for educated people to pursue. Sorry, I'll read that part again. She wanted to know what the taste of wine was like, how one came to read the future from the stars, and why it was such a sought-after practice for educated persons to pursue. Most of all, she wanted to taste a good meal, a goat or cow slain and carved before her very eyes, so she can feast on what she imagined were other persons' delights. She took to the heavens as if wings grew from the soles of her feet. She saw the eyes of Zagreus and cupped her hands as she hoped to receive a gift. Some more followed, the fisherman and the beggar, hands, minds, and hearts readied for salvation. Here they come, my messengers, Dion. May their wishes all be granted. Nay, it is a good day for a feast, dear brother, for tonight is when the light is most warm. A toast to thee, Dion called, full of joy, raising a glass half empty to his lips. Steady, brother, don't waste all the wine, for father will know. How so, little Zagreus, the chosen one? He is but miles away from where we are, years old even. How will he know what we are doing? Dion rose with laughter in his throat. The unowned pleasures in his heart. He always knows, Zagreus greeted his brother, turning his head to him with a playful smile. What a dream, Dion. Many are responding to the call to Guardian, the Chosen, the Islenites. This is grand, brother. But which will you choose? Yes, many will stand and not make it past the first door, for I have read each of their minds and feelings, their inner struggles and deepest desires. All are driven, all are desperate, but it's the broken who will prove most trusting. Will you act as their saviour, then, brother, those broken few? I suppose I will. I suppose I might, Zagreus replied, his mind on the turn with ideas, but never losing his good humour all the same. But my chosen few seemed to be somewhere in my sights. He looked down at the rising tide of potential contenders, and was filled with pride. For when Zagreus snapped his fingers, everyone, the fisherman, the beggar, and all those foolhardy enough to level themselves with gods, caught fire, withering down and crumbling ashes like the embers of the fallen leaf. A sea of hopeful souls ascending to power quickly descended into a cascade of flames and brimstone, to a symphony of human screams, moving like seawater to the shores. That was such a shame, Zagreus said to his brother. I had such high hopes for them all, but no one is strong or bold to become a deity. Do you not think it funny that we go from man to god? It is as foolhardy as a dream can be. Zagreus dared not voice this remark, for he knew his father was listening. And that was chapter 2 of Angel Dust, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think of this chapter in the comments, and let me know what you think of Zagreus. I'm actually quite happy to have written this character down, because I wanted to make him a little bit more of an arsehole than most people would think, because usually when you think of this type of character, usually he's like the mentor character, whereas now he's kind of like a little bit of a monster, I think. And in Greek mythology, he's had various different representations over the years. Some people have seen him sort of like the devil, sort of like a personification of Greek mythology's devil. some people might say that, oh, he's kind of like a stand-in for Hades. He's assumed all sorts of different roles, kind of like, various other characters in storytelling throughout the centuries. Many different characters have assumed different archetypes, and this is just one of many. And like I said, there's a big theme of reincarnation. So in the next chapter, I'm going to be playing a game with you guys. Can you guys guess who the Zagreus stand-in is in Simon's timeline? So there's going to be a lot of interesting ideas there. So I hope you guys enjoy, and let me know what you think of this chapter in the comments. And if you'd like to see more videos, please be sure to give a thumbs up on this one, and please be sure to subscribe. Hope you're all doing very well and have had a fantastic day. And all the best. Take care. Bye for now.